Hi, this is AstroKrys from Kundalini Astrology, and today's video is going to be on how to work with the void of course moon. Now, this is a topic in astrology that does not get as much as attention that it should. So I am going to be talking about what the void of course moon is, how to figure out when the moon goes void of course, and what to do during that period. And if you love astrology, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. I love astrology, and your support will help me reach more people so I can spread the word and have them connect and understand astrology. Thank you. So, what is the void of course moon? Essentially, the void of course moon equates a retrograde. Now, the moon and the sun never retrograde, but when the moon goes void of course, it takes a flavor of that retrograde energy. And what does moon void of course mean? That's when the moon is no longer making any type of aspect. This is either a conjunction, a trine, a sextile, opposition, or a square to any other planet during her transit in that specific zodiac sign. So the moon travels through all the zodiac within about 29 days in a month. So she spends approximately 2.5 days per sign. So an example, if the moon is in the sign of Taurus today, and she's at 15-degree Taurus and Venus is at 19-degree Taurus, then eventually during the day she will make a conjunction to Venus. But just say there's no other planets after that where the moon is going to make an aspect by either conjunction, trine, sextile, opposition, or a square, and these are the traditional Ptolemaic aspects, then the moon is considered to be void of course. And since I mentioned that the void of course energy is such as retrograde energy, so it's like mini little retrograde periods for a specific time until the moon either enters another zodiac sign, and then from there, the void of course is no longer activated. Now, when the moon does go void of course, because the moon rules the body, it rules our emotions, our mood, things like that. And in business astrology, it impacts how the public sees us. It is not recommended to start or launch new projects during this time. There are good uses for the moon void of course period, and that would be if you're doing research, if you're working behind the scenes on a project, that is perfect. However, it's not recommended to launch a project when the moon is not communicating by aspect to any of the planets. But the moon void of course is beneficial, and it gets a bad rep because of the fact that we can't launch things or do important things, start important relationships or partnerships, or start a trip or anything in regard to changing your routine from the norm. So new things starting during this void of course moon, you're just gonna have to redo the project or redo the thing, or it brings delays in the trip, so it's not advised. However, when it comes down to working in internally for the self, inner child work, shadow work, journaling, resting, meditating, yoga, just kind of relaxing and taking a break, especially in our fast-paced environment, in our fast-paced work schedules, this is the time that you want to at least set a few minutes aside to just come to zero. Just come to that zone that relaxes you and refresh the natural biorhythms of the body. I personally like to get body massages to just move things around in my body, and I try to schedule both a massage during the void of course and also aligning with the moon cycles, like new moons and full moons. So I look at when the moon is going void of course, and since it's relaxing, you're able to really maximize the benefits of this energy of going internal and just going within and calming the system down. Now, how can you tell when the moon is going void of course? Because the void of course can actually be from a few minutes to up to 48 hours. Now, there's very rare and few far between 40-hour periods where the moon is not making any aspects. The more typical is between minutes to hours. Over a day, it's a little bit more rare as well. However, when we do have a lot of stellium energy, all the planets are just jumbled in one specific zodiac sign, that's when the moon could be void of course for longer periods of time, especially if the moon is not making an aspect to that sign. So it is possible that the moon can be void of course over 48 hours. But you can find out if the moon is void of course or when this happens by just Googling when is moon void of course. There are astrology apps that can tell you, and I also created a Crystals in Astrology 2021 calendar, and I create this calendar yearly in which I tell you exactly when the moon void of course starts, and then from there we know when the moon enters a zodiac sign, thus ending the void of course. I also give you a brief explanation. I have reminders on there to charge your crystals, to connect with certain crystals during this time, to journal, to relax. So it's very tied in with the rhythms of the cosmic energy. There are a few definitions out there on what moon void of course means, and this is the most popular meaning. There are other ones that are not widely used, but the moon is not the only planet that can go void of course. There's other planets that all of them actually go void of course, and that's when they're not making an aspect to any other planet. But because the moon is the most fastest moving planet in our system, her void of course transits are more popular. And she also moves very fast, so she's able to communicate gracefully with tension or excitement with other planets, and then from there retreat and rest and recharge. So when she has to go into a different stage, and what's the different stage? The other zodiac sign. So an example, if she's in Virgo right now, she's very efficient, business oriented, trying to get to the bottom of workings. However, when she's in Libra, this is more seeking harmony and balance, and it's a different energy. So the void of course gives us an opportunity to just be, just retreat, calm, and relax, which is something we always need to do. And my final tip around the void of course period is that you calendar these times, whether you are doing it as a Google search or you bought yourself an astrology calendar or you bought my digital calendar. It does not matter, but calendar this time in so you can be able to connect to the feminine energy of the moon, which is all about receiving from the sun, receiving from the universal energy, from the cosmos, from people around us. And this is a great way to start aligning with the phases of the moon to manifest. Lastly, don't forget to check out this video, being born under a void of course moon, because the void of course periods are going to be more meaningful to you. You have a karmic mission around this energy. You can also tell if the moon is void of course by looking at your natal chart. So go ahead, check out the description below. I have a link to my free birth chart calculator on my website. Cast your chart and you're going to see if the moon is void of course by the aspects that it's making. So if your moon does not make any aspects, it's not making any applying aspects, then she was void of course. And check out this video about the moon phases. They're very important in manifesting, especially manifesting with the moon. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment below. Let me know if you were born under a void of course moon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week as I post videos weekly about astrology, the astro weather, and spiritual development. Thank you so much. Take care. Lots of love, blessings, and abundance. See you next time.